to my channel. So I've reorganized all of my bookshelves. 1, 2, 3. And then I took all my books off my 4th one, which I'm going to take to school with me because I'm a teacher. I have also found 2 1.5 milk crates of books that I am getting rid of. And I decided I was feeling very uninspired by my TBR. And we're going to go through it shelf by shelf. I'm not going to tell you the name of every single book on there, or if I've read it or unread it, or if it hasn't been read. But my read books and my unread books are together on the shelf. I'm going to start using my cart right here that you can't see as a TBR cart. So every time we play Bookopoly or I pick my TBR, those books will be right here. I'm going to put my graphic novels on the bottom. And then I think my writing stuff is going to go behind you. And then my finished books are going to go kind of in this window area. So I'm rearranging everything. And I'm feeling just very, motivated today to get stuff done. So, yeah, let's just go take a closer look at my bookshelves. Okay, so we're going to start with what used to be my red shelf. I'm pretty sure that I got everything off of here that I don't want anymore, but let's see. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe that one. Maybe that'll be on my next self-destructing books list, because I've had it for a while. Okay, and then we're on C. And like I said, the books I've read and my unread books are together on the shelf. So, there's nothing right there. What about down here? Oh, well, this is a graphic novel, so it doesn't go over here anyway. I think that might be it. Over here. Okay, so this is honestly where I think we're going to have the most luck finding stuff that I don't want. Okay, so there's a few potentials. If you've read any of these, let me know in the comments below so that I know if I need to read them right away. I mean, obviously I need to read them right away, but I think that was on my 5-star prediction list too. Okay, let's see any more down here. Sorry that the light is not the best. are potentially what I'm going to be getting rid of from this shelf. Let's see the next bookcase. Okay, this one's going to be harder because it's actually 2 books deep. There's books behind it. So, let me set you up different. Okay, so we're going to just go through these. I don't think I'm going to pick every single book, but I will definitely do my best to look at these. Okay? Oh, graphic novels go somewhere else. So, duh. Okay, the thing is that I read The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. I liked The Chalk Man, but it's not one that I find myself continuing to think about or, like, ever wanting to revisit. And typically, I don't keep books that I'm not going to revisit or that didn't have a huge impact on my life. It was a fun read. I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. I highly, highly recommend this book, but I don't think I'm ever going to visit it again. So, I'm going to unhaul that one. That one actually hurts a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, every time I look at this book, I think that the cover is stunning, for one, and for two, I'm always so interested, but I have no idea what this book is about. Once I read the synopsis, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. Then I forget about it, so I'm also going to unhaul that one. I'll make that very easy on myself. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so maybe we got a few. All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Irving. I like this book. It was more of like a mystery type thriller. I see something on that shelf that I missed, but it's more of a mystery than a thriller, but there were some pretty nice dark twists in here. This was more of a like light YA mystery. I say light, but someone really does die in this. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I'm never gonna reread it, so that one can go too. Ooh, I'm being ruthless. I kinda knew. Okay, I've known for a long time that I can't watch things happen to kids, specifically kids, and not do something about it. Like, I think that's what's one thing that makes me a great teacher, is that I can't sit back and do nothing when I know that something is going on with a child. So, I've read several, like, kidnapping or child abuse stories about kids. Side note, the child called it. That is heartbreaking. It's nonfiction, so it's true, and it's devastating what happens to that kid. So there are times in which I can read it, but generally speaking, I can't read about kidnapping or about kids getting hurt because it makes me sick. It makes me very sick to my stomach. So for that reason, I'm going to be unhauling Little Disasters by Sarah Vaughan. This has to do with the kidnapping. And you're going to see in my haul, or maybe you already saw it, I don't know. I did pick up one book that has to do with the kidnapping. I'm gonna try that one, but it's gonna be like my last attempt at reading a book that involves something so terrible. I think that's just one of the trigger warnings that I just can't stomach to read about. But I'm sure this is a great book. I just can't. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. Of Monsters and Madness by Jessica Verde. It's somehow like inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. It's gothic and it kind of sounds good, but it's been on my shelf for so long that I'm never gonna read it. Then I have 2 copies of Words on Bathroom Walls by Julia Walton because my friend just gave me this one and I've had this one on my shelf for years. I honestly think this cover is better on the hardback, even though I typically like paperbacks more. I'm gonna see which one has bigger writing. You know, that's not too bad on the writing. Let's see, what about this? They're about the same, I would say. So I prefer paperbacks, but I like this cover more. I will unhaul this one, which is mine, the one that I had already, and I'm going to keep the paperback because I like paperbacks more. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Where Peterson. Oh, this is another graphic novel. So it goes over there. It doesn't go over here anymore. Okay. I think I'm also gonna get rid of Thirst by Benjamin Warren. Thirst won't be the only killer. I don't really care. Okay, I'm doing it. I have 3 Casey West books that I've read and loved. They're all 5 stars, so if you want Casey West recommendations, she's a YA romance author. Then I recommend The Fill-In Boyfriend on the Fence and Love, Life, and the List by Casey West. I don't think I'm going to reread them. I haven't really been into YA romance lately. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of On the Fence and Love, Life, and the List by Casey West, and I'm going to keep The Fill-In Boyfriend because if I wanted to reread one, it would be The Fill-In Boyfriend. It is by far my favorite Casey West that I've read. For a long time, it was kind of like hit or miss with Casey West. I either really enjoyed her books or I really hated them. I think I've only read like 2 that I hated though, but that's okay. Okay, this is a dark academia book that I'm really wanting to read, but I never pick it up. So, okay. So that is all for those, but we did pretty good. Let's move on to the bottom shelf. You can't see it, but there's actually too many books on the bottom shelf. So we're gonna try and bust through this pretty quick. Okay, so this like books that are by multiple authors. Some of them are like short stories or like fairy tales or the Arabian Nights, you know, the owner's manual. This one is just for reference material, but yeah. Then there's that. There's Red Riding Hood. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of the Nanny Diaries. I enjoy that movie, but I don't need to read the book because I like the movie. I'm just gonna keep my fond memories with the movie. I don't need to read it. Girls' Night Out. I'll switch. My True Love Gave to Me. I think that is all of them. That is all of them for now. So I'm gonna put these right up there. Cause let's. Oh, you know what? They go on this side. Okay. Then. Okay, and then you are going to see me in 2 seconds telling you about all the books that I'm unhauling. Hopefully you're going to get credit for it, and then you'll get another big haul. And yes, I do know we just did a huge book haul last week or next week. I don't know. I just filmed it. I don't know when it's going to be up. But hopefully this one comes up first. I know we just had that huge book haul, but we're going to have another one after I unhaul these and trade them. And okay, so I have 2 crates of books that I'm unhauling. So we're going to quickly go through these. So let's go through this one first. And see, I have all this school stuff back here that's going to go to my classroom today. So I had to organize my shelves so that I could take one of my shelves to my classroom. Then I have 3 like drawer sets that are going to come with me. So the 2 Casey West books, there's Love Life in the List and On the Fence. I already told you I highly recommend them. I just won't reread them, so it kind of does me no good just sitting on my shelf. Thirst by Benjamin Warren, we talked about. Words on Bathroom Walls, I had 2 copies. Of Monster and Madness, it's just a forgettable book. Nanny Diaries, I like the movie, never gonna read the book. Little Disasters by Sarah Vaughan. I don't think I can handle things about kidnapped children. All Your Twisted Secrets by Diane Irving. I highly recommend this book too, but I know the twists. I know what happens. I'm never gonna read it again. The Telling by Alexandra Surley. No idea what this book is about. The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. Love this book. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. Never gonna read it again. You Can Keep a Secret, I read, but I remember 0. Broken by C.J. Lyons. The Snowman by Joe Nesbo. This is some kind of detective novel, which I'm not interested in. Tell Me You're Mine by Elizabeth Norback. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I have read this, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun mystery. I think it's more of a mystery than a thriller, but I am like the queen of thrillers. I read tons of thrillers. So this one didn't surprise me. But it was a fun ride, and I enjoyed it. So I would recommend this, but maybe get it from the library. The Passenger by Lisa Lutz. I read this one. Loved this one. 5 out of 5 stars. Great thriller. Highly recommend. Never gonna read it again. Watch Me Disappear by Janelle Brown. Okay, this one we have to talk about. This is The Stand by Stephen King. This was on my 30 under 30 books that I want to read. This is not the book I thought it was. The book I was talking about in that video, which I'll link up here, you can go check it out, is The Long Walk by Stephen King. So The Long Walk is still on my 30 before 30 TBR. I'm not interested in this one. This one's about, like, a disease that... a virus that takes over the world. And, in the current state of the world, I do not want to read that. I don't think I'll ever want to read anything about a virus or COVID or anything, at least at this point in my life. Like, no. So I'm trading this on that list for The Long Walk. Revenge of the Girl with the Great Personality by Elizabeth Elrig. Sleepless by Rami Hosman. This was a unsolicited ARC that came out this year. In October. I don't care. I don't want to read it. Then there's Mine by J.L. Butler. Denton Little's Death Date by Lance Rubin. Interment by Samira Ahmed. I love this book. I read this. Gave it 5 stars. Would highly recommend this to everyone. But this is a young adult novel that follows this girl right here. I forget her name. I know, I'm a terrible person. Layla. That follows Layla. And her and her family are getting put into an internment camp. Muslims have been put into an internment camp. And Layla starts a revolution from inside the internment camp. And it is heartbreaking. It will mess you up and break your heart and make you angry, because for me, I could see this happening in real life, in real world America, and that just angers me so much that we still live in this place of hate. And I adore this book, but I think it's time for me to give it to someone who it can resonate with, you know, because it shattered my soul. So it's just time for someone else to have it. Mr. Death's Blue-Eyed Girls by Mary Downing Hahn. I'm a therapist and my patient is going to be the next school shooter. 6 patient files. I did read this, and when I asked for it for Christmas, I thought it was nonfiction. It's not. So that kind of disappointed me, which sounds terrible. But, yeah, okay. Ellie Story by W. Bruce Cameron. Someday I want to read the entire, like, short series, because he has A Dog's Purpose, the series, which I have read the first one, and I want to continue that series, but I also want to read all the little novellas in between. I just want to get a box set of it someday. Like, someday on my list. Iceland by Sasha Stevenson. Her One Mistake by Heidi Perks. Madness by Zach Brewer. The Bells by Donna Lee Clayton. The Travel Writer's Handbook. Bring Her Home by David Bell. Again, a kidnapping story that I'm not here for. The Season of You and Me by Robin Constantine. This is on my self-destructing books list. I'm not interested. Little Lovely Things by Maureen Joyce Connolly. Again, a kidnapping story. Psycho by Robert Bloch. I read this. I I enjoyed this. I think I gave it 3 stars, 3 or 4 stars. It was a fun book, and I finally can say I read the classic of Psycho. It's probably my favorite classic I've ever read. It was a fun read, and if you haven't been spoiled for it, read it. I also, right after reading this, my husband and I binge watched Bates Motel, which, you know, they're connected. It's fine. Then there's Waiting for You by Suzanne Colestini, another one that was on my self-destructing books list. The Cruelty by Scott Bergenstorm. I got this for $1 at the Dollar Tree because I thought I had to have it, and then I think I need to stop going to the Dollar Tree for books, because generally speaking, I find these books that sound good in the moment, but then I get them home and, like, they just don't sound good to me. I think I've only read 2 of the ones that I bought from the Dollar Tree, and one of them I really loved, and the other one is very forgettable. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember reading it. Okay, then there's The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I got this book by accident. I thought that it was The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and first off, super big. Second off, it's on my self-destructing books list, and I'm not interested. My last unhaul, I think, I unhauled this entire series, except for the first one, because my thinking then was, oh, the first one is my favorite, it should have been a standalone. I still stand by that, but I'm finally going to get rid of To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This is a fun YA trilogy. I did not like the second book at all, and the third book was kind of mediocre. I'm sorry. This was the only good one in the trilogy, but you follow Laura Jean, who, every time she falls in love, she writes a letter to the guy that she's in love with, and then mistakenly, all these letters get sent out, like, years later, and, this is the aftermath of that. This one was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. But I'm not gonna read it again. 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott, Mickey Daltrey, and Tobias Lakunis. This was written after the movie, and you can definitely tell the movie is 100 times better. So go watch the movie. Don't bother with the book. The book isn't terrible, but if I wanted to enjoy one, I would definitely pick the movie over the book, so there's no reason for me to hold on to that. Odd Hours by Dean Koontz. This is number 4 or 5 in the Thomas Odd series. Odd Thomas series, which I absolutely adore that series. I don't own, this is the only one that I own of it, so I'm just gonna let it go. Maybe someday I'll get the whole series so I can read it again, but it's not top priority for me, you know. Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks, and The Deceivers by Kristen Simmons. This is about serial killers who go, they're teen serial killers who go to this, like, camp, assassination camp, where they teach you to be a good assassin. A good assassin? Like, good at being an assassin. And, they're kind of trying to use these Class A felons to do the government's dirty work. I enjoyed this. I highly recommend it. It was fun, but it's not something I think about all the time. It's not something I'm going to reread. Same with The Deceivers by Kristen Simmons. This is about these teenagers who are at this con artist academy, and it's a fun book, but I'm never gonna continue on with the series. Okay, then there's the results journal. It's just an empty journal that I think I got at the thrift store anyway. Oh, this one hurts a little bit, but there's The Code of Destiny and The Call to Sea by Sarah Ecknose. I either won a Goodreads giveaway or they were unsolicited, but they're signed by the author, and there's a little message to me in both of them. But I'm never gonna read these. One is about global warming, and one is about like a clairvoyant working with the FBI. There is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This was a fun YA adventure story. It was like a bucket list of things, and it makes this girl, when she goes through this list to find her best friend, she becomes more confident and a better person and happier. It's really, really cute. I enjoyed it. Recommend it. I'm never going to read it again. This one might hurt some people, so look away if you need to, but A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I did really enjoy this book. And originally I was going to watch the movie and then do like a comparison, but I don't know if I want to watch that movie or not. It's a heartbreaking story. It's good. I just will never read it again. That's going to be a very big theme. Okay, you know what? Let's continue with the theme of I will never read it again. The Night Olivia Fell by Christina McDonald. Good story. Good mystery. But I know how the mystery ends, so not going to read it. This is Another Little Piece by Kate Karras Quinn. I believe this is part of a series, and I did not know that when I bought it. Then there's Body Language. Yeah, I don't care. I've read what I wanted to out of it. I'll Fall Down by Allie Carter. Again, this is part of a series. I owned this book. Then my friend just gave me this copy, and I'm sorry, Michael, but I'm unhauling it. And the last one is My Girl. This is based upon the movie, so it's kind of like with 5 Feet Apart. The movie was made, and then they wrote a book about it, and I tend to think that when they do that, the book sucks. Or the movie's better. And, I just don't want to waste my time with that book. So, that is both milk crates full of books that I will be unhauling. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I made myself some lunch. It's a yummy salad. And then I realized I forgot to tell you about these books and why I'm unhauling them. So let's do that. Okay, so this first one was on my 5-star predictions list. I don't think it's a 5-star. I think I don't know. I thought it had potential, but I'm not interested. The Vanishing Game by Kate K. Myers. This is about a brother-sister who are twins. The brother dies, and now the sister is trying to get him back from the other side. Wishing Day by Lauren Miracle. It's a middle grade. I'm almost completely through with middle grade. They just don't do anything for me. 10 Things We Did and Probably Shouldn't Have by Sarah Mivowski. YA romance. Not my thing anymore. Athena and Oliver by Christina Morocco. I read a book by this author. It wasn't bad, but it's not something I need to seek out either. The House by Christina Lauren. Love Christina Lauren. This is a young adult romance, and so far I'm like 150 pages in, and I'm just not liking it, so we're done. To Have or to Hold by Josie S. Kilpack. This is a Marriage of Convenience. I read my first Marriage of Convenience book, hated it, don't think that trope is for me. The Missing Hours by Emma Cavigan. The Missing Hours. No idea what that book is about. Don't care. First Grave on the Right by Dondra Jones. The Shattering by Karen Healy. And The Prized Girl by Amy K. Green.